Once upon a time, in a quiet suburban neighborhood, there lived a blended family. This family was composed of a mother, her 2 daughters, the stepfather, and 2 half-siblings. Although the family had been together for years, there was always a sense of lingering tension between the biological father of the 2 daughters and the rest of the family. One day, the mother and stepfather decided to take a trip to an old antique shop on the outskirts of town. While browsing through the dusty shelves, the mother was drawn to an ancient-looking mirror with an ornately carved frame. The owner of the shop warned her of the mirror's dark history, but she was too mesmerized to listen. Believing it to be a perfect addition to their home, the mother and stepfather bought the mirror and brought it back with them. Unbeknownst to them, the mirror carried with it a restless spirit, one that fed on negative emotions and unresolved conflicts. As the days went by, the tension within the family grew thicker. The mirror's presence seemed to amplify their resentment and anger toward one another. The daughters started to feel an unexplainable chill whenever they walked past the mirror, as if something was watching them. One dark and stormy night, the family gathered in the living room to have a heated discussion about their feelings. Unbeknownst to them, the spirit within the mirror had grown stronger, feeding off their animosity. As the storm outside raged on, the mirror's glass began to crack, allowing the spirit to escape its confines. The ghostly figure of a woman appeared in front of the family. Her hair was jet black, her skin was as white as paper, and her green eyes had an unsettling otherworldly glow that threatened to drive her victims mad. As the apparition proceeded to unleash its wrath upon them, in a horrifying turn of events, the spirit possessed the stepfather, forcing him to confront the biological father of the 2 daughters. It pushed the man to his breaking point, making him seek out the daughter's father in a fit of rage. The daughters, feeling a sense of impending doom, tried to warn their father, but it was too late. The spirit had taken control of the stepfather and forced him to confront their father in a violent altercation. As the daughters watched in horror, the spirit manipulated the stepfather into a gruesome act, taking the life of their father in front of their eyes. The stepfather charged, tackling their father. As they wrestled, the possessed man ended up on top. Black veins bulged from his pale skin as he took his inhumanly strong hands and proceeded to choke the life out of their father. However, death would not come that easily for the unfortunate victim, as the stepfather opened his mouth impossibly wide before bringing his teeth down upon his victim's face. The possessed man continued mauling their dad, whose screams were only exceeded by those of his daughters. The man's feet violently drummed beneath his murderer, until becoming mercifully still after the stepfather's teeth found his carotid artery. The walls were painted crimson, as the ruthless spirit continued to use the stepfather's body to devour and desecrate the victim's corpse. With the tragic event unfolding, the daughters knew they had to stop the spirit. They managed to lure the possessed stepfather back to the mirror, hoping to trap the spirit within it once more. A fierce struggle ensued, but the daughters ultimately shattered the mirror, destroying the spirit and freeing their stepfather from its control. Unfortunately, the damage had been done. The family was left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives, haunted by the memory of that tragic and gory night. The daughters were left fatherless, and their stepfather was left to bear the burden of a terrible act he had no control over as he languished in prison for the rest of his natural life. The mirror's curse may have been broken, but the family's wounds would never truly heal. The heartbreaking ending of their story served as a haunting reminder of the consequences of unresolved anger and the dangers that lie in the darkest corners of human emotion.